What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the uncrowned Otaku. Hey! Just got done watching the new Final Destination Bloodlines movie, and before I talk about anything, this will contain spoilers. If you have not seen the movie yet, I highly encourage you. Go watch the movie, especially if you're a fan of the Final Destination franchise. The movie, chef's kiss to me. If you like that franchise, it does everything you like in that franchise, and it does it perfectly. If you were never a big fan, no real rush to go see this movie at all, honestly. It's more or less the same that you've seen. Now, like I was saying, this video will contain spoilers. I highly encourage you go watch the movie and then come back. My dogs are going crazy. You might hear them skirting around. I'm not going to edit that out either. It's going to stay in here. But anyways, yeah, we're going to get right into some spoiler talk. You've been warned. If you decide to continue watching, bro, it's on you. It's not on me anymore because I'm blowing the spot up. Because we going straight towards some of the glaring mistakes that were made in this movie. Now, I say mistakes, but it doesn't mean the movie's bad. I actually think this is one of the best Final Destinations in my humble opinion. But the one thing I had a problem with in the movie, and the whole thing harkens, why they call it Bloodlines, is because the original, we gotta say original because we don't know how far this whole death scandal actually spans back, but it goes back at least to like what, damn, it looks like the 50s, 40s. I don't know the exact year, but the seemingly first person to save a bunch of people from an accident that they were destined to be into. And then death has to go back and catch everybody. So it's taken years. And we see the Skyview Hotel restaurant tower type thing, how everybody was supposed to be X'd out. Homegirl has the premonition, she saves everybody. Now I don't know how this is gonna correlate with Final Destination 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or is this the 1, 2, 3, 4? Because it looks like death has to go in the order that people were supposed to die in. And in this movie, like 100 people were supposed to perish in the Skyview Hotel, or motel, or restaurant, whatever it was. But if death was still catching up to everybody there, how was he also doing stuff with other people that had premonitions? Which then I guess death is just multitasking, like, oh, if I can't get this person now, let me go touch this person. But where my issue comes into play is when the main character, and I'm terrible with names, so I don't remember a lot of people's names. I'll just be describing them so you know who I'm talking about. When the main character goes to visit her grandmother, the grandmother was the person we see in the beginning who saved everybody. So the grandmother's like, oh, you've been seeing exactly what I saw in my premonition. So death is letting you know something's about to happen. Let me prepare you. She brings out her book. And of course, as any sane, rational person would do, the granddaughter don't believe her. So the main character storms out and is like, this is a mistake. I shouldn't been here. I shouldn't be here. First of all, the main character wasn't thinking. Like, you're having this dream of exactly what was supposed to happen from your grandmother premonition 40, 50, 60 plus years ago. You don't think that is strange at all? The fact that you're having the same dream every night for 2 months. You don't think that's strange? And maybe your grandmother's on to something. You still think your grandmother's the crazy one here. Okay, that's problem number one. Problem number two, when the granddaughter leaves, the grandmother realizes, because she's been staving away death for years, so she sees the sign. Wind starts blowing, things start spinning uncontrollably. She knows exactly where death is and how death is trying to catch her. So she looks around, she's like, dang it, I guess I gotta do this. So to get her granddaughter to believe her, she steps out of her safe home and says, seeing is believing, take my book, study everything. You have to keep the family safe. Take a couple steps back. Seeing is better than believing. And she gets impaled right through the jaw. Grandmother's dead. The issue I had is that as long as the grandmother was alive, the rest of the family was safe. Like, death has to come into the order that everybody was supposed to die at. Death was never going to touch your family until you died. Now, granted, she did disclose that she was sick. She got cancer. So we don't know exactly how long she had to live in general. But still, in order to get your granddaughter to believe you, you X'd yourself out, which is then domino affected to your entire family now being put into jeopardy. That's mistake number one. Grandmother just should have stayed alive. Eventually, the granddaughter could have come around if you sent her the book, tell her all this stuff, show her everything. Eventually, the granddaughter would come. You don't have to sacrifice yourself like that. That was mistake number one. Mistake number two, well, really, it's not a mistake. You find out there's some infidelity in people's marriages, and that messes up the order of death that they were preparing for, which causes somebody to get an unnecessary death. Julia, shout out to her. Her death was probably the worst. She was in that trash compactor, and homegirl's like, don't worry, it's not your time. Wrong, it was her time. She got crushed in. You just see her jaw. Oh, This Final Destination, when it comes to the kill scenes, most gruesome I think we had. The one that's really been stuck in my mind all these years was the one where she's like at the doctor, she's getting eye surgery or something, so that she don't have to wear glasses, and the beam is just searing through her eye until it gets to her brain. That one hurt me the most. But it's some real gruesome ones in here. You got a gigantic magnet, like I think it was like an MRI machine, turned all the way up so that it's attracting 7 tons worth of metal. Homie had a Frankenstein in his junk, piercings on his nipples, and you see them just get ripped through his clothing. Oh my gosh, the kill scenes brutal in this movie, bro. That's what I'm saying. Like, if you were a fan of the franchise, this does everything that it's been doing to a higher degree. And the pacing is actually even quicker. Like, it might take a little bit to get into it. Like, you have the first scene, which is like, oh, this is what's supposed to happen. I'm gonna save everybody and change destiny. And then you get that little bit of lull after that. There's a little bit of lull where the main character has to find out what's going on. But once death starts taking people down, it's a non-stop domino effect. I mean, like, it's like boom, 5 minutes later, boom, 10 minutes later, boom, 5 minutes later, boom, death knocking people down left and right, bro. Now, I did say spoilers, so it looked the family like nobody makes it, bro. Damn, nobody makes it from this family, which is giving sad ending vibes. But death isn't done, and that's why I think this leaves room for another Final Destination, because JB, the little black kid from the premonition in the beginning, he's the black dude that's been in every Final Destination that's been trying to give people clues, like, oh, you had a premonition. Death only comes to those it needs, and he be singing and giving people clues and stuff. And we've always wondered, in my mind, I thought he was like Death's messenger in a way, but now they broke it down like, no, the grandmother saved him as a kid, and they've been working together to stave off death this entire time. But now that the grandmother's done, JB, after the grandmother's whole lineage goes away, JB is next in line. So what the movie doesn't show you is once the whole family, because it ends once the remaining of the family gets KO'd. JB decided, I can't hide from it anymore. Because I guess the grandmother, if death can't get you, it's going to find another way to get you. So it started, the grandmother was living in a shack, it gave her cancer. And it looks like it gave JB cancer as well. So if death can't immediately kill you, it's going to affect your health in some way. So JB's like, well, I'm sick anyways, don't got long to live, so y'all keep fighting a good fight, but when y'all go down, I'm next, I'm going to get up out of here. We never see JB after that. So there's still one more person on Death's hit list that we don't know if it got him or not. Because the movie ends right after the main character and her brother take that L. By the way, shout out to the logs. If y'all know the logs from Final Destination, that's kind of like a recurring theme in this movie. So the director was definitely playing on everybody's emotions. And the fact that they used the logs to get the final kill is hilarious to me. I thought that was a great callback to one of the most famous moments in the franchise. GG's, like I said, this movie, if you're a Final Destination fan, it is a chef's kiss masterpiece to potentially wrap up everything Final Destination's ever done. One thing you'll walk out from this movie thinking is that, damn, death really don't lose. There's no way you cheat in death. And we see in this movie, they're half brothers. They try to cheat death because JB tells them you can do 2 things: steal somebody else's life, or you can end your life and come back. If you die and get revived, that counts. You have a brand new life. But JB is like, if you mess with death, if you try to cheat death, things get messy, and then death takes offense to that. So one of the brothers who actually isn't related to the family, that's the infidelity part I was talking about earlier, where the mother cheated on the husband, had a baby with the neighbor or something. Death wasn't supposed to kill that dude. But because he tried to flatline his brother and then wheel him into the ER to resurrect him, Death was like, you trying to cheat me? Now both of y'all gotta go. So he takes them both out. And that's when they harken back. Like JB said, if you try to cheat death, things can get messy. So you're not on his hit list, but if you start causing problems with his hit list, you can be added, bro.
You just made the list!
Oh, this movie, to me, in the realm of Final Destinations, a masterpiece. If I'm to rate it as just a movie, and I hate doing out of 10 because I feel like 7 is such a high average cop-out answer. If you do it out of 5, then you get people's real opinions on movies and stuff. Out of 5, there's a couple loose ends they didn't tie up, but I would give this a 4. It was a fun time. It explained a lot. It brought potentially a definite end to it. Like I said, the whole thing, JB, we never see him catch his L, so Death still has to catch up with him. But if he decides he wants to go start having families, or if we come to find out that he does have a family out there, Death could continue into another Final Destination where maybe JB is the star and he's trying to keep his family safe. So there's potential. I don't know what they'll do with that, but I'm just saying there's potential that this doesn't have to be the last one, but it looks like it probably is the last one. They closed up a lot of loopholes. They answered a lot of questions. And again, you walk out of the theater just thinking, damn, you can prolong death, but you just can't escape death. It's always going to be there and it's going to get you. If you on the hit list, you gonna get hit eventually, bro. The fact that they put up they made a wall of Death's whole scheme, and everybody in that Skyview hotel, in that Skyview restaurant that was supposed to die, they went on to have families, right? Death scratched off everybody. They was like, you weren't supposed to exist, which means your family's not supposed to exist. So if person A was supposed to die, then person B was supposed to die. Person A decides to have a family, Death is gonna get person A, then person A's all the children person A had. And if those kids had grandkids, it's gonna get the grandkids. Then it's gonna go to person B and eliminate person B's family. Everybody that was never supposed to exist, Death is Xing out. And you see just hundreds of bodies left in Death's wake. Weird circumstances, accidents, health issues. Death got them all, bro. It's crazy. This movie was excellent to me. In the realm of a Final Destination genre, perfect scores. If I'm framing it as this type of like horror suspense, it's a 5 out of 5 for me. But in the realm of it being a movie in reference with all other movies, it's a 4 out of 5 because they didn't tie up everything they needed to. And again, there's a low in the beginning. Well, there's a low right after the beginning. There's a little bit of a low, but again, once that lull is over and Death starts knocking, it don't stop. It's like a domino. You set up all the dominoes, and Death is just right here for like 10 minutes, and finally decides to push the first domino over, and then all them hoes just start boom, 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 one after another. I loved this movie. And let me take it back. In the grand scheme, even in the grand scheme of Final Destination movies, I said I would give it a perfect 10. It'd be like a 9.5. Again, the whole thing with JB, I wish we could have just saw that get tied up, but because that's out in the ether, there's still potential to do other things. And they even talk about other Final Destinations, the racetrack, the airplane, the carnival, like the way they tie in every Final Destination movie. Because in my mind, and I already thought about this going into the movie, I was like, I know for damn sure the director did not think he was going to get 5 movies out of this. And there's no way, harkening back to 2002, 2001, whenever the first Final Destination came out, there's no way he planned to tie it in 20 years later into a perfect story. So the fact that they can kind of wing this and make everything fit cohesively, shout out to the director, the producer, the writer, whoever is in charge of the story and making just everything fit so perfectly. You deserve a Grammy, an Oscar, an Emmy, all the awards that you could be available for. You deserve to win them, bro, because that was S-tier storytelling. I'm not going to cap to y'all, bro. But this is all coming from a diehard Final Destination fan. I love the franchise, huge fan of everything. And this one, to me, the best yet. Flawless execution, bro. Can't rave enough about it. Now, if y'all have seen Final Destination Bloodlines, what did y'all think? If you haven't seen it, I don't know why you watched this whole video, bro. I told you there was going to be spoilers, so I'm assuming everybody's seen it if you made it to this part. What did you think of the latest Final Destination Bloodlines? Comment down below. What do you think about the whole JB option? Do y'all think that's viable? Is that something that they may continue? Because I can see this movie making a lot of money. Do y'all think they might go that route? I don't know. But I'm in those comments with y'all. Uncrowned Kingdom. I've been your boy, the Uncrowned Otaku. That's the fire that keeps the kingdom burning safe. And I'm going to see y'all in the next video. Peace, bros. Peace, 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 peace.